All right, so there's a lot to discuss here. Chiney, can you break this down just a little bit for us, particularly this notion that Russell Westbrook was attempting to go for the 2-for-1 late?
Yeah, look, what the Lakers said was that this was a 2-for-1 scenario, which means you're trying to take a quick shot so that you own the final possession of a quarter or even in this instance, a game. And also with 2-for-1s, you get 2 offensive possessions instead of 1. But when you are up 1 with 30 seconds to go, it's all about shot selection, Malika. And Ramona reminded me this. Coach Darvin Ham after the game said that the strategy was with Jusuf Nurkic, a center guarding Russ, what you have to do if you're Russ is attack that matchup. You cannot settle and take the shot that the opponent has been daring you to take all game long. So let's look at the tape.
Yes, please.
See exactly what happened on this possession. So look, Russ is bringing it up, time and score. They're up 1, 33 seconds left, 21 seconds of the shot clock. Even Pat Bev knows with this brush screen right here that, hey, we want you to attack this matchup with the center here and not settle for the jump shot. What happens here? He sort of does what he did all game, sort of like dare the shot. He was like, look at this. I think his teammates even knew. Look at AD, look at LeBron. What's happening here? You don't want to settle for that with the game on the line. And that, unfortunately, is exactly what happened in that possession. At the end of the day, the Lakers, their shot selection really needs to improve, but also so does their overall three-point shooting, because look at the numbers right here. Through 3 games, the Lakers, they've shot the worst three-point percentage in NBA history. So it's not just Russ, but unfortunately, Russell Westbrook does represent all of the issues that the Lakers have, particularly with shooting, and we saw this happen in just 1 possession.
Interesting. So I guess when I think of, I was at the game yesterday, Ramona, we sat next to each other, we were chatting. When I looked at what happened late, it reminded me of what the Clippers executed with Russell Westbrook as well, with having Zubac sag off of him a little bit. So the natural question, right, is where do we go from here?
Well, when you're walking around that locker room post-game yesterday, you get the sense that things need to change rather quickly in L.A., and whether that is Russell Westbrook coming off the bench, whether that is not being in closing lineups. I mean, Frank Vogel took months to pull Russell Westbrook out of the closing lineup last year. Took Darvin Ham 3 games. 3 games. He was not on the court for the final 3 possessions after these situations here. And part of this is Darvin Ham is giving Russell Westbrook every opportunity to play the way that they had talked about over the summer, attacking the rim, setting more screens, hitting open shots if they're given to him. It's not working out right now. It just isn't. And the Lakers were up 8 when they subbed him back into the game with a little under 5 minutes to go. Portland outscored them by 10. 14-4 down the stretch. In the last 2 possessions, he goes 2-for-1, doesn't attack the rim. That is something that Darvin Ham didn't say anything post-game that he hasn't said privately to Russell Westbrook. He said, you need to attack the rim. When the center's daring you to shoot the ball, you took the shot that they are daring you to take. Attack the rim. And you get the sense that something is going to have to change in the next few games here, or they're going to look up and be 0-6.
Right. They could fall into a serious hole here. So something may, in fact, have to change. Let's bring in Kendrick Perkins. Perk, I'm curious your thoughts. What exactly needs to change?
Everything. And that wasn't a 2-for-1 situation. I mean, you're up you're up a basket, you're up 1 point. At that time, you're thinking about getting a great shot, a great look at the rim, and hanging your hat on the defensive side and getting a stop. Even if Portland do have the last position, you're actually winning the game. But I'm looking at the overall picture, right? And I look at the body language of LeBron James and Anthony Davis when Russell Westbrook took that shot. See, this is the problem, right? Now, all of a sudden, it is starting to creep in. Now, all of a sudden, you hear Darvin Ham saying, we don't have time for people being in their feelings, because he could feel the energy when Russell Westbrook wasn't in the game. He could feel the energy that's around the locker room right now. And the solution of the problem is, I hate to say it is, you have to send him home until you find another destination for Russell Westbrook. Because in my opinion, I strongly believe that if Russell Westbrook wasn't on the floor, or if he played last night, the Lakers would have won that basketball game. So now Darvin Ham, this is his time, right, as the head coach, to put his fingerprints all over this situation and say, you know what, I'm going to address this and I'm going to do what's best for the team. Because you don't want to lose your team just because of one individual.
Well, Ramona, it sounds a little bit like what you're saying as well. What are you looking at when you're talking about this may be the time? What is the one thing you're keeping an eye on as they embark on this road trip?
So Darvin Ham has given Russell a lot of opportunities, right? He gave him the respect of starting on opening night. gave him the respect of starting on the home opener, has not in the third game pulled him from that closing lineup. Okay, so that was consequences. But as Perk said, you have to be careful not to lose the rest of the team. The Lakers have teams that have played 3 games. Okay, very small sample size. They have the best defense in the league of teams that have played 3 games so far. They're buying in on the defensive side of the ball. But if you alienate the rest of your team by not making moves that need to be made, then you risk losing that effort that they have shown so far on the defensive end of the ball. And I think we're getting closer to that point than we were, I think, that anybody anticipated this quickly.
Right. Denver, Minnesota, their schedule does not.
Hey, what's up, guys? Jag from Jaggy Sports. Happy Monday. And thanks for subscribing to this channel and watching this video. So here's the deal. Kind of already knew this was going to happen, but, you know, it is what it is. Russell Westbrook. Him and the Lakers, LeBron and Anthony Davis, faced the Portland Trail Blazers yesterday. And they're up by 8, I believe it was, with a minute left to go, something like that. And they lost. How did they lose? I believe if you watch the clip, that when he came back into the lineup on the floor, that's when they lost the lead and eventually Portland came back. So it's just kind of odd that they're keeping him in the games, right? And I gotta agree with Kendrick Perkins and how he said, you gotta send this guy home, right? He doesn't want to be there. He is infecting the actual team, and basically what it is the fact that if he continues to be on this team, the guys that bought into Darvin Ham's system are gonna start to despise it because it's not working. So rather than having that happen, just get to the main freaking route and either trade him or send him home. Because at the end of the day, Brian Windhorst said it best. He goes, what's going to happen is they're going to try out the Russell Westbrook experiment. If it doesn't work, they're going to send him home. And then eventually they are going to trade him, right? So a couple trading partners, and they are known as the Charlotte Hornets, which I talked about on Saturday. Gordon Hayward with that controversial tweet saying, or he liking a tweet, trade for him to the Lakers in exchange for Russell Westbrook. And the Spurs. The Spurs actually and the Lakers actually talked over the last couple of weeks. It appears that the Lakers want Josh Richardson, and the Spurs are eventually going to tank, and they're going to get Victor, right? That's understandable. So the Spurs want Russell Westbrook and his contract in exchange for the, Josh Richardson, and also the Lakers would send out those 2 picks. So now you got that. You got 2 teams right there, right? You have the Indiana Pacers, which I highly doubted because it was ongoing all summer long, the Indiana Pacers and Miles Turner and Buddy Hield and yada, yada, yada. If they wanted them, it would have happened. Or, they would have actually took the picks or something. But I gotta agree with the panel today because nobody wants Russell Westbrook's attitude right now. He is, not loving the game right now, and I know it's hard for him, but he just needs a change of scenery. He just needs to ask for a trade because this is getting a bit too much. The media is all over Westbrook, all over the Lakers. Wherever you turn, it's going to be all Lakers news. This has got to happen. I know Woj and Pelinka are referring to the 20 games and GD Bus. Well, you guys are just insane if you wait for the 20 games, because if you take a look at this schedule, which I mentioned to you in the last clip, it appears they might go 1-9 if they can actually get one game in that span, because they're facing the Utah Jazz twice, they're facing LA Clippers again, they're facing the Cavs twice, they're facing the Nuggets, and it does not look good. It does not look good if you are a Los Angeles Laker, and at the end of the day, you got to cut your losses, right? I know you don't want the 2 picks. I know you don't want to give up the 2 picks, but you're wasting another year for LeBron James and Anthony Davis. You have 2 of the top 5 players in the NBA as of 2 years ago, and now last 2 years has been a joke. And at the end of the day, you gotta do something. You can't just let it say, 20 games in here and blah 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 blah. It doesn't work like that. So you got to trade him or you got to send him home. He cannot be on the bench. He cannot be in the locker room. You got to do it. I know I keep harping on this, but it's true, right? It is 100% true. You just gotta cut your loss. So tell me what you guys think. Leave a comment in the comment section. Do you agree with me and pretty much the entire world and Kendrick Perkins? Send Russell Westbrook home, which eventually would lead him to get a trade in the future. So leave a comment in the comment section. This is Jag from Jaggy Sports.